I'm absolutely unconvinced that if we got rid of higher education, we got rid of college, we got rid of university, that we would be better off. One of the things that I've realized after 10 years of putting out messages and positive way of thinking about things is that nobody listens, nobody cares. Right? There's a very small group of people that actually care and they actually get it. And those people are almost always part of the choir, anyways. And the rest of the people, they don't get it and they don't care. They don't choose to actually engage in this world. And the only way that we can convince people to do things that are good, that will move the needle. We know that education moves the needle significantly. When people get education, they almost always move the needle if they take it seriously, right? That is the key thing. You have to take it seriously. You can't just sit in there. I think that's often the effects that we see, the sort of poor effects that you might hear about is that people just did not care, right? It's like when you go to counseling, if you don't care, if you've already checked out, you don't want to make the investment, nothing's going to happen. Somebody can talk to you till they're blue in the face and nothing's going to move the needle. So what I am convinced of is that if you actually do good education, that it will completely change your life, right? Like it will change a lot of different things, but it's this sort of deep surrounding that happens. It's a cultural change that happens in your heart, but it requires an awful lot of development to do that. And the only way that you could do this development to sort of change your heart is through the culture of what we actually generated. And we know that, actually paying for education makes a difference. If you pay the bill, it will make a difference. I don't know of any research study that can tell you this, but this is just economics. If you actually pay for it yourself and you feel the pain, you will internalize why you actually do that. Now, the problem is it's very difficult to people to get them to pay for things, but also high quality education and being part of a group, a cohort that is all kind of moving towards something collectively. I think that's why these sort of very expensive, high-end private programs, the ones that you've never really heard about, I'm not going to name them, but they're generally, prying off of people to do it at nighttime and things like that. They don't really move the needle as much as we would actually like. I think it's the sort of the culture of being with people that are moving collectively towards something that actually makes a big difference and where you can resonate and change your life by that resonating with it. I would beg you to find, if you went and talked to somebody that went to a good program, it would be hard pressed for them to say that it actually really didn't do that much in their life. They're going to change. They're going to look at the world completely differently when it's the before and after. That's why people give so much damn money to many of these institutions that you've heard about, is that it literally changed their life. They're donating boatloads of money, like unbelievable amounts of money, because it actually changed their life. It did something, it moved the needle. But getting people to believe that is very difficult, right? And you're only in the moment. This is the problem with education, is that in the moment, you never see it. It feels awful. It takes 10, 20, 30 years for you to recuperate the gains from that education. It takes an awful long time that is unclear, ambiguous, and very difficult to ever see. So all of these things compound together and people sort of disqualify it and say, well, why would I ever do that thing? It's kind of a waste of money. I would get you to talk to anybody that went and did high quality education. Now, here's the problem, is that the people that you want to reach are not accessible, right? Their heart is closing off. There's something that they just simply don't want to listen, right? Like I think we have it's a genuine problem that we don't acknowledge in higher education, is that there's lots of people that just don't want to learn, right? And we have to figure out, how do we connect with them? How do we be part of the journey to let other people know that this is a journey, right? Like, it's not something that it's a one-off thing and all of a sudden your life gets changed. No, it's grinding work. That's why I try to be as open as possible. So you see, man, I feel terrible a lot of days. I feel like, that the world is nasty, and I have all of these negative emotions. I'm taxed, all of those things. But if you notice, I want you to look at the behavior. I get up and I do it again. I don't want to, right? Like, there's many days I don't want to, but I get back up and I do it again. And I think if we understand this collectively, if you see this of like, hey, this is weird nut that, he really often doesn't like it in the day to day. Like, I don't like what I do in a day to day, and I'm not hiding it like lots of people hide because they're afraid of their career and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell the truth publicly of what it's like. And I know privately, a lot of people tell me, of like, oh, it's really hard, right? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's very hard doing research, doing the things that I do in my career. Research is just reading, writing, arithmetic. It did not change between what I was doing in my undergraduate education or my high school education. It's the same damn thing over and over and over again. I just chose to do that for my life. And I am open that it's very difficult to actually do, and it does change your life once you do it repeatedly. There's a lot of things in my life that have improved. It may not seem like it in the moment, and it's miserable, but I do it because I know it does improve. Now, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, I can see the difference. I know I could see the difference because I have lived it. I've gone through all of those things. I hate to be that person, but I've sort of moved up in a lot of different sort of social class, and I understand. I know the feelings. I know all of those things. But the thing is that you have to get up to do it again, right? And like, you have to keep doing it, going through all those motions where it doesn't feel good. People are laughing at you. This legitimately happened to me, and it happens to everybody that does this. People will laugh at you and say that you're stupid. Why are you doing this in the moment? And 20 years down the road, then you start hearing about other people coming out to you and saying, you know what? That was really amazing what you did. I wish I would have done that. And you will hear that in all areas of your life, whether it is, trying to lose weight and trying to figure out how to lose weight, trying to, actually moving the needle in terms of your finances. People will laugh at you. They will make you feel terrible. But you get back up and you do it again. You get that little gumption in your belly and you just say, I'm going to do this. And you get back up and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again every single day, right? Like, all of that is, and on top of it, people laughing at you and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to do it yourself, right? Like, you are like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? This is stupid. This is horrible. Why am I doing this? But you get back up and you do it again. Like, I think that is the fundamental message I wish people could hear and I could connect with them. I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to connect, but I'm going to keep trying. That's why I do it, is I keep knowing that there may be somebody out there that is at this moment in their life where they're like, I can't do this. People are laughing at me. Or there's other people that are, this whatever this is doing over here is stupid. Like, that is dumb. I can't do it. Right? Like, why would I ever do that thing? And the reason is I know that the returns on doing these things, on this bloody hard work that repeats over and over and over again that nobody wants to do, I know the returns are there because I've seen it, I lived it, I've gone through it. It's my life. Take care and have a wonderful day.